Welcome back, travelers, to Legendary Lore! And as you can see, I am Ricky, and this is my curvaceous co-host, Joe.
Is licking doorknobs illegal on other planets? Find out today on Mythbusters.
Today we're going to be talking about Jeska and Kamahl. Now, this is my least favorite of the classic storylines. It's still a really good one, especially compared to the modern stories. I mean, just look at this absolute unit. This is showing him with what I believe is the Mirari attached to his sword, which is something he would do often. I do find it interesting that he is in his green form with the Mirari. It does happen, but it's not as common. We'll get to that. So, basically, you had Jeska and Kamahl, brother and sister. The two of them lived in the Partick Mountains of Otaria. Otaria is not a bird. Otaria is the name of a continent it's the Australia of Dominaria. And so
Dragon.
The what?
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 It's not a bird, it's a dragon. Excuse me.
Anyways, so basically these two, they're barbarians. They live with dwarves, and the Balthor is like their surrogate father kind of deal. But here's the thing, Kamahl was red at the time, and he was ready to smash anybody.
A chimp, not a monkey.
Are you singing the Dave the Barbarian theme song?
I was until you interrupted me.
Joe, you gotta lay off the paint chips. So,
They're croutons?
same crunch. So basically, Kamal's like, I'm gonna go find a suitable opponent. He's gonna Goku, basically. He decides he's gonna Goku it. So he goes to the Cabal City, which is this massive, super corrupt gladiator pit kind of thing, the pits of the Cabal. And he goes in there and he's like, I'm gonna fight everyone, and I'm gonna be the best that there ever was. And so he does this, he goes in there and he sees the prize. And the prize is this beautiful orb that enchants anyone who sees it. Obviously the Patriarch, which was the actual name of the main villain of the Cabal. The Patriarch's like, this is mine, you will do my bidding. And whoever wins the tournament will be able to get the Mirari. And so Kamahl is just like, I'm gonna smash my way to the top, I'm gonna smash. And so basically what happens is that he meets a centaur named Centaur? He meets a centaur. Centaur's like, you should become a druid. It's really cool. And he's like, nah, I'm gonna smash stuff. And he meets Chainer, who is this like nightmare mage. And he's like, I'm gonna beat you. And Kamal's like, we're gonna be best friends. And Chainer's like, you're probably gonna kill me. So then they meet Braids, and Braids like, I'm psycho. And he's like, I can tell. So all these different characters, they show up. There's a ton to it. Once again, much like previous episodes, you want an actual more in-depth, much more accurate representation of the characters, there's more to it. But the point is, eventually, Kamahl gets the orb, the Mirari. The Mirari can grant any wish, but it drives the wielder insane, basically. And so all of this is happening. Kamal's doing his thing. He's like a champion. Everyone loves him. And Jeska and Balthor have been following him this whole time, right? So as this is happening, the orb bounces from place to place. Different people get it. You got, what was the guy's name? The Lieutenant Kurtar. Yes. So there you have the Order and Lieutenant Kurtar, because each of the different factions were a different color. So you had the Cabal, which was black. You had the Druids, which were green. You had the Barbarians that were red. You had the Order, which was white, and had Avon. And then you had the Ocean, which was blue, and had the Cephalids. That's where those squid people are from. Ambassador Laquatus and all that. Empress Galena was a merfolk? That's not connected to this. That's a different character. Ambassador Laquatus is what matters, because he was a merfolk that was manipulating the Cephalids. The point is, Mirari's jumping all over the place. There's a whole lot of political intrigue, and you just see how it corrupts different areas. Everybody's upset when they get it. Eventually, Kamahl will get the orb back, but something huge happens. You got Chainer. Remember Chainer? I mentioned him. He was a nightmare mage. He was the best nightmare mage. He was super good at what he does, and eventually Chainer goes insane. That's kind of what happens. He got a hold of the Mirari. He went insane. It's unfortunate, but over time, everything is going all kinds of bad. Kamahl's like, you know what? I got to get rid of this this orb. It's too dangerous to stick around, and eventually, he's keeping it to himself, right? Kamahl's keeping it to himself. I have to tell you guys why he decided it was dangerous. Can you guess why he thought it was dangerous, Joe?
Did he die?
No. As you can see here, he's got the orb attached to his sword, right? He stabbed his sister.
That is dangerous.
He stabbed his sister because the Mirari was driving him insane. He realized his mistake, and he was like, I am so sorry. She was not yet a planeswalker. She did not know she had a spark. So what he does is he's like, okay, I'm going to take you to the druids and have you healed. And then I'm going to bury this thing where no one will ever have to deal with it. Sound good? Sounds good. So Kamahl swears he's going to become a druid. He's going to do his thing. He's like, I don't want to have to deal with this. This is dangerous, right? Well, Jeska's kidnapped. Reason being, the patriarch's like, hey, you're kind of cute, even though he's like a really old, wrinkly monster man. And so what he does is he's going to use her as a vessel for, I think the thing is called Kuber, Stanley Kuber. So basically, Kuber is the god of the Cabal, and he's super evil, super dark mage kind of thing. And he's like, yes, take her and perform the ritual on her, kill her and transform her into a great evil. And so basically, the patriarch's like, let's do it. And so he kills Jeska, sort of, and she's born again. Now, you may have noticed, her name is Thrice Reborn. This is her first rebirth, right? She's reborn from Jeska into Phage the Untouchable.
Oh, wow.
Yes. That Phage the Untouchable. She becomes Phage. She becomes a being of pure death and destruction, where literally anything she touches dies, except for the Patriarch, who she touches a lot and eventually has a kid by.
Fun.
Yeah, it's weird. It's super weird and really, really weird. But she has a child, and the child winds up being Kuber. Kuber's reborn very quick, and she has a shadow baby. It's like an Antichrist kind of thing. And Kamahl has to kind of mentally prepare himself to kill Jeska.
Again.
He's like, gotta do it.
Got a blast.
She's evil. Now, while this is happening, Phage is causing havoc all across Ataria. You may remember I mentioned she killed somebody's wife. Do you remember who that was?
No.
Ixidor's wife got killed by Phage.
Oh.
And so he creates a chroma to kill Phage. Specifically. So you got this being of pure white mana. You got Jeska, who at this point is a being of pure black mana. Then you have Phage's, I guess you could say, attendant. Basically, she has a friend who is following her around. Who's not a slave, but more like a she's an attendant. She's just like an old lady who's always with her, right? Mm-hmm. And for sake of I guess connectivity, I'd like to think that she was the blue representative in this scenario, just for the sake of what's going on, right? So you got Phage black, Chroma white, her blue, right? Mm-hmm. Kamahl is like, you know what? I got to do what I got to do. Everything's coming to a head. Kuber's been defeated. Kamahl has a new weapon called the Soul Axe, and he's going to kill Phage. Right?
Fun. Sounds like Kamahl.
Phage and Akroma are locked in battle. They're trying to kill each other. And it's a vicious thing, right? While this is happening, Kamahl's charging at them, barbarian style. He's pure red mana using this green weapon. The color bit is kind of my own headcanon. You don't need to accept that, obviously, but it just, narratively, I think it's beautiful. He's going to kill Phage, right? He tries, and he succeeds. In one stroke, he kills Phage, Akroma, and the old lady. Who was, yes, because she's like, no, Jeska, no. I mean, no, Phage, no, my queen. And so all three of them die at the same time. These two incredibly powerful, diametrically opposed beings die, as well as this old lady. And all three of their souls fuse together. And Jeska's were born again. Is the deadly... What?
So that's 2 times.
Yes, she is reborn again, is the deadly false god. Everyone knows her name at this point because she's reached into the outside world and locked us all away. The false god Corona. Yes, that is her name. She's 5 colors, which is the whole reason I made up that spiel about the 5 different elements joining together. She is this false idol incarnate, and she is uber powerful, right?
Right.
Her whole deal is like she runs away and she's like, no, I don't want to, I want to know what it means to be a goddess. And so she goes and she's there and she meets a bunch of, it's been like kind of phased out of like canon because she meets Yawgmoth and Teferi and a whole bunch of other guys, but like they're like Yawgmoth is dead at this point in the storyline, so it doesn't make a lot of sense. But yeah,
coming back.
Yeah. Eventually, Kamahl works with a person named Numena, and together they're able to kill Corona. It's over. It's gone. They found the cure. It's fantastic. And so
we need Kamahl in here.
So Kamahl,
He's going to the task force for sure.
yeah. Kamahl kills Corona, but when he does, Jeska's spark ignites, and she is reborn as Jeska.
Finally, as herself.
She is free of all those different things, and she's finally who she was meant to be the entire time.
A red planeswalker.
That's what I find really cool about her thing, is that her mechanic actually plays into the rebirth idea, where she starts off, you pay 3, you play as your commander, she comes in with 1 counter. She's a weakling. She's just a normal little Jeska girl, tiny girl. She dies, you recast her, she comes back with 2 counters. The phage deal. So the more she dies, the stronger she gets. Because she goes from a normal person to a death god, to a false god, to a planeswalker. She's progressively getting stronger, which I think is great for her character. That said, she gets recast a lot of times, and Kamahl is probably only going to get cast once. That said, you choose a creature until your next turn. If that creature will deal damage, it deals triple that damage to that player instead. So, with Kamahl out, you play Jeska, you go, hey Kamahl, guess what? And you just triple this 8/8 bastion of a man into a 24/24 massive smack to the face with trample.
That's insane.
So they have a little combo themselves, obviously. They got their thing going on, but this is I really like the idea of using these two together, narratively, story-wise, but also because their abilities actually complement each other really well. Also, Karn shows up and is like, "Oh, you got my drone," and they're like, "What are you talking about? The Mirari is mine." And so he takes the Mirari back home with him, and everybody's like, "I guess that solves that." A literal god in the machine just showed up and took away our problem. And the Cabals died because their gods are dead. The Order's freaked out. Ambassador Laquatus has been defeated. Everything is good now. Kamahl's like, I'm going to become a druid. Jeska is like, okay, bro, you killed me 3 times. I'm going to go ahead and peace out. and joined Karn, and they actually just roamed the multiverse together for a while. So that's really cool.
Really? So Karn had a friend in Jeska for a while.
Yeah, it's really cool. Jeska later shows up. Her story continues. Kamahl obviously died, but Planeswalkers were immortal at the time, so she kind of got over it. And she is part of the reason why Zalfir can never be phased back in, because she tried to bring it back and messed it up. And she also closed one of the rifts during the mending and killed herself to do it. So she's dead. She's confirmed dead. She dies in the book of the Time Spiral Blocks book. And
Unfortunate.
that is Jeska's story. She's really cool. I like that they create a character, and she kind of starts off seeming like no one, kind of like just like a Tian Shenhan kind of deal, where it's like, look how powerful he is, kind of deal. Even though she's supposed to be this great warrior, and then she winds up being a huge threat until she eventually becomes a super powerful being that obviously goes beyond anything Kamahl could ever dream of being. So I think that's really cool.
That is awesome.
So these two, perfect partners, mainly because her Zero is very specific, only works on a handful of characters as far as like making them really good, with tripling their damage. But Kamahl being the beefy boy, look at you could crack a walnut just between those biceps.
Beefy boy.
Beefy boy.
Beefy boy.
Beefy.
That is amazing. I really like Jeska now. I didn't think she was that cool.
Yeah, she's got a lot to her. Obviously, I simplified a lot of that. Like I said, there's more to Corona. There's more to Corona, but there's more to Phage. The Cabal
More
have a
power
whole
to come. Stay tuned for 2021.
Braids, I barely mentioned her, but she's really cool. Seton, the centaur, is really interesting.
Like, I know you've told me the story of Phage and then how they became Corona.
Mm-hmm.
I never knew this is who it came from. And then she gets to be Jeska again.
Yeah, and she gets to be the Planeswalker, not like Glacian, who gets it like snuffed out. And so
It's like, I'm just to die.
yeah, and she has an arc. I love it when a character has an arc and isn't just there to be there. You know what I mean? Oh, Haru. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know, I'm talking to you. I hope you have something to you.
Alrighty, guys. If you like that, if you want to go more in depth on the story of Kamahl and Jeska, go ahead and let us know in the comments. I wouldn't mind that at all. I loved this. I think we're gonna call it for this session for this week. So we will return next week for us. The next episode for you guys with the greens, which we're just gonna go over story because we've already gone over who their partners would be.
Yeah.
And then we get to see multicolors, which I'm sure you guys are excited for. I'm excited for it. So don't miss a thing. Go ahead and hit subscribe.
Yeah,
don't miss a video.
There's 20 dual color characters.
Ricky should be opening the set on the channel. At the same time, I should be opening a Fat Pikachu set.
I might open a few. I might do one episode of openings for this.
That sounds good. We'll post that when it's made, though, so they'll see this after, so to see the episode.
Yeah, this is. I'm enjoying going through these with you.
And ongoing, we have our hunt for the Fat Pikachu. So support me in that. Leave a like. And leave a like on this, because I am so down for more story. I hope you guys are too. Thank you guys so much.
Legendary lore. I'm gonna murder your entire family, Joe.